Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, faculty members, and students of Georgetown University, office bearers of the Citizens Foundation. It's a great pleasure and privilege for me to be here tonight, speaking to a subject that is very dear to my heart, to my government's duty and responsibility, and I know to all the good people assembled here, and to many others who have continued to support girls' and women's education, especially the great symbol that Malala has started being for us as an icon of nonviolence, the search for peace, and also a commitment to fight on against all odds. You mentioned here the high stakes that we were working for. Indeed, these are high stakes, and I think there has to be a very clear recognition of the kind of blood and guts that people like Malala and her parents put in to the battle for daily survival and for the search of a simple, fundamental human entitlement, an education, a primary education, followed, of course, by the right to free speech, which in our polarized world is more and more contested every day as we face new and changing realities. You can tell I'm ad-libbing and looking away from the speech that I should be making, so I will dutifully return to it, but I think that you are entitled to some thoughts from the heart, because this is why we commit our time and resource to gatherings such as this. We recognize and salute people like yourselves, especially young people who come together to commit their time, their resource, and of course their, I would say, passion to not only a country that they come from, but countries and women and causes above our own circle of identity and our own circle of comfort. So to go beyond that is a passion and involves always some leap of faith and coming together. It can't just be an evening of entertainment to all of you. I know that. And I would like to take this opportunity to say that many of you can also become the kind of beacons of hope and courage that young Malala symbolizes. And I'm glad here that Mashal, our organizer here, and I'm sure you're one of them, but the person who spoke here very gracefully and poignantly about this cause, did mention that there are many other Malalas out there that don't really gain the kind of recognition we look for. They don't look for it. They want to just go about their lives, and many want to be able to speak freely and breathe freely in an era of freedom and striving for a better life. But I do want to take the opportunity to say we all know Malala's story, but at least let me mention her two young brave friends, Shazia Ramzan and Kianat Riaz, who also fought with her the struggle for their lives, but also continued to commit to a life of great responsibility against serious odds and adversity. And I like to say and think that people are measured most and judged most. The measure of a woman or a man is really when they face a crisis, not when everything is easy or when, I can sail in from a comfortable car into a nice podium. The tough choices are when you have to face things on the front lines. And I'm humbled and happy to say that I am one of those people who like to be on the front lines, and I hope I will have the opportunity to be there again. Of course, in the United States, as ambassador, I face another kind of front line, which is dealing with a struggle almost every day of making sure that Pakistan is not defined by bombs and bullets or by the Malala Yusufzais only, because Malala is the apex of a pyramid, And I want to repeat to you one of the words I have here in this speech. I think one of the good things my young speechwriters got together was that what would be the best tribute we can give to her tonight. And I think that greatness certainly lies in her life for her, not just for her courage, but for having always the presence of mind to say the right thing and to think it. And she says she will get better when all the children in Pakistan are educated. Now, isn't that a dream to dream? Isn't that a fight to commit to? Isn't that something worth living for outside oneself? I think these things are very important. Her plans, her hopes, her dreams, her ambitions, these can surely be ours. These can surely be generated from among us. Just one spark, just one commitment. And the one thing I want to say is, she's mentioned all children in Pakistan. These things are for governments and big, big entities such as the Citizens Foundation to do. But I have to say that it is the responsibility of my generation to leave a torch behind, a torch like Malala, and in this group amongst yourselves, I'm sure somebody will rise. Also, it just takes one person, and then it becomes two, and then it becomes three, and then you have a Citizens Foundation. Do not ever think that the task is too big, because it can be broken down into small increments. It doesn't seem like a lot of fun then, because it's not glamorous then. But that's where you start. Do not ever underestimate the power of the increment, the daily getting up, the 2 steps backwards, because there will be a 1 step forward if you are committed to it. And that 1 step forward is what will take people like yourselves and Malala propelled into at least the first phase of your dream. Because if you have a dream that is above yourself and outside yourself, and that's the only really way to be, because if you're going to be among only dreaming about attaining goals that are individual, then your ambitions will never be realized enough, and you'll always be frustrated. I tell my daughter this all the time, who's 25 now, that you've got to dream dreams outside of yourself. The minute you do that, you're connected to the spirit of humanity and change. And that's what's important. That's what Malala has grasped without ever saying it, without probably articulating it as a philosophy, because that is what it is. It is a way of life, a way of thinking, and importantly, a way of being. So I would exhort the young people here. I would consider my task for many weeks well done if just one person from here could give their life to something bigger than themselves. And I would, of course, like for it very much to relate to Pakistan. I would like for it very much to give back to the community that identifies us as Pakistani, because I am very proud to be that. And I'm also proud to say that when we, as a government, rushed Malala to recovery after the first trauma care that we gave her, one of the things that everyone was astounded at globally, because they have a certain profile of Pakistan in their mind, is how on the front pages of newspapers, on television, 24/7, it seemed as if Pakistan was holding its collective breath across the class and gender and age and province and color and everything divide. Every Pakistani looked like they were holding their breath. Vigils is one thing, they were praying, they were hoping, they were dreaming, they were talking, and they were coming out in large numbers to support what? To support not just Malala's victory over the extremist mindset that she fought every day in her life, but they also were supporting every young girl, every young person's right to the kind of life they are entitled to as a fundamental human right. So, this is very important. It looked like a turning point in Pakistan, but it really wasn't. Because if you know Pakistan, This is what the Pakistan I know is about. This is the default mode, because what the headlines capture is, of course, the bombs and bullets. They don't talk about the stories of hope, courage, and resilience, which today we have come together to celebrate. And I hope we will have many such opportunities to celebrate stories such as this and gain from them and learn from them and understand from them. I do also want to take this opportunity to say that it's been mentioned that Malala is up for a Nobel Prize, Peace Prize for this year. No greater honor. She was among the runners-up for the Time magazine's Person of the Year. And also, for us, this is, as I said, bigger than just one person, as she likes to make her life bigger than herself. The President of Pakistan on the 9th of December announced the establishment of a Malala Fund for Girls' Right to an Education in collaboration with UNESCO, with seed money of $10 million from Pakistan. The fund will serve to champion the cause of girls' education, not only in Pakistan, but throughout the world. This is a small act of going outside your own circle, because we are looking, of course, to raise the statistics, to raise the quality of education, but it's not for us about filling the classrooms or jacking up the enrollment statistics. It's not about numbers. It's got to be about successful pedagogy. It's about actual access to that quality education, about crossing the class divide that sometimes polarizes a private and public education, and also about seeing to it that we provide students with necessary skills for the job market, because that's really one of the calendar of imminent anxieties that should be facing young people as they graduate, because they certainly faced us all when we were in our senior year. And obviously, we do want to look towards closing the gender gap as well in Pakistan. And I do want to speak to this group and say that the subject of female education is actually now a key priority area for Pakistan. This is the government that is closing its first constitutional peaceful transfer of power. So we think that this kind of work is important work. This kind of work, even if it's a building block, requires a great deal of our support. And we also know, like you do, that with nearly half of the 180 million Pakistanis under the age of 30, we have to come up with planning in terms of jobs and in terms of livelihoods for one of the world's largest youth cohorts. They're making music, they're making lovely clothes, they're designing art, they are speaking out, they're coming together to form youth wings of political parties. They're doing all kinds of stuff. They're not really on the front lines of the extremist advance, no. They're doing other things with their life, but they do need the resources and the push that all of us combine together. Sometimes governments can't do it alone, but it's certainly our responsibility to be trying. And I do want to tell you that we have celebrities in our own light, and I quote the name, I want to raise someone's profile here, somebody called Arfa Karim, who became a Microsoft certified software engineer at the age of just 9 years. Some of you may have heard of her, but why I say I want to speak about people like that is to give them encouragement, to give them recognition, which always is a powerful pull and push for young achievers. I also want to mention somebody like Moeen Ali Nawazish, who passed a record 23 A levels. I mean, this is seriously a prodigy. And 21 of them were A's. It's giving me a horrible complex because I only did 6 A levels, scraped right through in 1 year. And so clearly, we have many stars in this pantheon of achievers, and really, we need to move to appreciating that. As far as Pakistani Americans are concerned, I do want to point to the fact that more than 55% of our diaspora here are graduates. So it's an educated community, it's a young and educated community, and we hope that those of you who stay, who make their lives, whose parents live here in the United States, will find a strong voice in their own communities and decision-making circles, and as at the community level, at the state level, at the local level. And we do want to enhance our outreach efforts from the embassy. We have recently launched something called the Generation Next Initiative, which will bring together students, young professionals, and academics from across the United States and provide them with a social platform to network and identify education and employment opportunities. We do recognize that there's a counseling gap sometimes. People here don't know what to go back to, how will their career skills or what they've learned in school, at university, take them into real life back home. Where do they find the kind of jobs that they're looking for or what they're trained for? So we are hoping to bridge some of those gaps, and my DCM and myself have committed to a counseling window at the embassy, and we will notify you through our website and other outreach ways as to when and where that will take. Well, it will be at the embassy. So I call it a 0 hour for young people to just come in and speak with us freely into what their hopes and dreams are and how we can, as an embassy, help to achieve them and make them a daily reality. And if you haven't already joined the GNI, please visit our website. Our website is www.embassyofpakistan.org, and do sign up today. You can also follow and interact with us on Twitter or Facebook, and I think that our handle is @PakEmbassyTC. Of course, I have one as well, and I do respond, not every day, but occasionally on DMs to direct messages, at least one a day. And many people have found internships and connections that way. So we hope to continue doing that. The value of personal outreach is completely unmatched, and in recognition of that, I'm here tonight to commit to you, the Pakistan government, and mine and my embassy's personal and direct and very real support to the cause that you are so courageously and brilliantly supporting tonight. I want to also thank you and the Citizen Foundation for making Pakistan's schools a better place, for enhancing, expanding this sector. I believe that you have established 800 schools. I have been to a couple of them to see how we can help, where I think 115,000 students are enrolled, and I believe these are not just paper degrees you're giving out, this is a quality education. So again, I salute you and congratulate you, especially for the 6,000 female teaching staff that you employ here. Once again, I welcome all of you to visit us at the embassy. And after that, I look forward to seeing you in Pakistan. Believe me, the cities are fun places to be and great places to work. So thank you for this opportunity, and I look forward to interacting with you in the future.